Hello, we are Team 4. My name is Giovanni, and I'm here with my group members Ignacio, Moses, Victor, and Ty, and we are here to present our website that we named Best Games Throughout Time.
This is our brief abstract. Our web page's main focus is to show a timeline of consoles and games in their respective generations. Under each generation, there is a list of 3 different consoles which you can click and it will send you to a web page that shows you a brief description of each console.
All right, so we're going to be talking about the introduction, which is our group loves games as well as the different types of consoles that along with them. All the following games are ranked by our opinion, so if your game isn't displayed here, we are sorry for not including it. This project did take us a bit of time to actually implement, especially how we wanted the webpage to look like. We made so many different changes to the website, it looks nothing like their first model of the website. Many ideas were scrapped while others were implemented and changed throughout the process. Our team is proud of our finished product. And now we're going to be talking about the HTML design part one. So on the left side, we have all the tags that we used throughout our project, which would be HTML, head, title, body, href, h1p, h3, ul, li, ol, h2, m, iframe footer and input. And on the right, we have the actual code for the About Us page, which uses the UL tag for the unloaded list, LI for the ref links for the web pages that were developed, H2 tags, which is a header size for the developers' names, H3 for the developer's web page header.
Okay, so for our console's web pages, we use the header2 tag and the strong tag to increase the size of the console names and bold them. We also use the unordered list tag to list our trivia. Figuring out the design and how we wanted our console page to look like took us a while to do, especially the part on how you wanted the pictures to be formatted. We had to change the formatting of pictures so many times until we were satisfied with the results. The pictures ended up in different positions from on top of the console names to the right next to the text, but we finally figured out and having it underneath the trivia section looked better.
CSS was crucial for giving our website substance. As you know, without CSS, all we would have is a colorless and dull plain site. As you can see here, because of CSS, we were able to add colors to various things like the background of our homepage, and the navigation bar. Additionally, we added a hover effect with CSS to the navigation tabs, so users can see what tab they are about to click on by having it change the color to a very light shade of gray. A stark contrast to the darker background color so that it pleases the eyes more. Apart from color, CSS also allows us to place the navigation bar at the very top with the title on the left and the navigation tab separated on the far right. Otherwise, we would just have a list going downward and completely out of place. The timeline in our homepage was one of our most challenging tasks with CSS, but also among the most rewarding. Thanks to CSS, we were able to add containers and place them in this right and left manner so that not one side is convoluted with information. Speaking of placement, CSS allowed us to censor various things like borders and HTML text, such as the About Us links in the bottom of our pages and titles, like in this page on our website where we had titled Top Games for PS2, Xbox, and GameCube.
For our JavaScript section, we added a script that allowed our website to recommend a random game for our guests to learn about. On this page, we created game objects for each game that contained the title, platform, date, released, genre, description, and a YouTube embedded video. Then we used the math.random method to generate a random number for us that was in a range from 1 to 50. This number would determine which game gets displayed on the screen. Our next JavaScript function was implemented inside of the navigation bar. This one was a search bar. This allowed users to search for video games based off of characters in the name of the game title. In our file, we utilized HTML list to hold the links of the search game. The links would take the user to the section of the HTML file that contains the specific game by looking for an ID on that page. As far as future work goes and improvements towards our website, we noticed that we could further improve our search bar by allowing it to support genre descriptions, date, or platform. So instead of just typing the title of the game, we could use other tags to find the games. We could also add a form that would allow users to give us feedback based on our criteria. In addition to that, we also believe we could use database implementation instead of storing our data in JavaScript files. References that helped us a lot with making this website were especially W3 Schools, Wikipedia for data, and YouTube for embedding videos of the video games.
So this is our home page, which shows our timeline for consoles. The first started with our 4/5th generation consoles, which was from 1986 to 2006, that contain our Nintendo 64, the Sega Genesis 3, and PlayStation 1. And here are the top games for each consoles. Alright, so next we're going to go to the 6th generation consoles, which is from 1988 to 2013, which is a PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. And here are the top games for these consoles. And then we go to their 7th generation consoles, which is from 2005 to 2017, which is the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Wii. And here are the top games for these three consoles. Next, we go to the 8th gen console, which is from 2012 to the hasn't been yet settled when the console ends, which is PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. And here are our top games for these consoles. Okay, lastly, we go to our 9th generation consoles, which is the one we're at right now, which is 2020. And then start from PS5, the Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch. And here are the top games for these consoles.
All right, so we're going to be talking about the About Us page. This website is about our group members' introductions, and below each of the descriptions are links to websites, web pages of each of the developers' personal pages that they developed.
The next section of our website uses our navigation bar to take you to a random popular game. This has the title, the date released, the platform, the genre, and the description, and lastly, the embedded video. Every time the user clicks on this navigation bar, it'll take you to a different game.
The all-time favorite page shows our top picks, the best of the best games from the list of games that our group chose from all the eras combined.
From here, we're going to go to the code and show the complete versions of certain sections of our code. This is the random section that has the object we made, the different games being placed in the objects. At the bottom, it's going to have our variables, our random number that generates the random number, stores it from 1 all the way to 50 max, saves the different descriptions, and then prints them out by IDs. This next one is going to show the general format we use to store our consoles in. This is the CSS that was mentioned earlier in the presentation. The top nav is what's for the navigation bar at the top. The navigation bar contains the home page, the random game, our best of all time, and the search bar. This is the different sections that we used within the consoles. This example has the Xbox One, the Wii U, the description, and then the list of the trivia. The next file contains the general format we use to contain the top games. In this example, it's going to be for the 9th era. And we divided each game in different div blocks. These blocks had a class ID that helped us identify them when we're calling them in the search function. If we go over the search function real quick, you can it shows it very clearly right here in our list of links. That ID that I mentioned earlier is right here, right after the hyperlink. So that when the user clicks on it, it'll take them to that section of the page. This list of links is sorted through in this function. This function goes character by character to help eliminate and choose the exact one. And the last page we wanted to show really quickly was our home page. This is one that we probably put the most work into. It has, in the CSS section, it has the top nav that was defined earlier, the footer for the About Us, and our timeline, the format that was shown earlier. And towards the bottom, we have the different data for the different sections divided in div blocks. Overall, I think we're very happy with the product we created. It allows us to show the best games that were made throughout the different eras. And thank you for your time.
All right.